So it took us a few days to grind through a 463-page bill, find the 102 changes, to figure out what all those changes did to the intent of the bill. So that bill, since it was a Senate bill, SB standing for Senate Bill, Senate Bill 1, since it's a mandatory veto, it gets sent back to the Illinois Senate. Once they received it on the 1st of August, the clock starts to tick. They have 15 days in which they need to take action if they're going to do something. If they do nothing, the bill dies. They're going to take action. They're coming back to Springfield on Sunday. I think they'll do two things. I think they'll call the mandatory veto and call it for concurrence. Concurrence meaning they agree with it. Okay? Now, that will be for sport and for show. You know why? It's going to crash in spectacular fashion. When that crashes, that's sending a message, Governor, your mandatory veto doesn't have sufficient support in the state Senate to advance to the House. I guess we'll try to override it. The next bill that will go up will be the mandatory veto to override the bill. Guess what's going to happen? It's going to override the Senate because there's enough supporters in the Senate to get it done. Once that happens, that choice is made in the Senate, then the only thing that gets sent to the House of Representatives is the motion to override the mandatory veto. So the House of Representatives will receive that, likely on Sunday, if not on Sunday, probably on Monday. They would have 15 days from the time of receipt to take action or the bill dies. They have either let it die or vote to override. They don't get the choice to concur because the Senate now has taken that option off the table. When they receive it, and they'll receive it Sunday evening late or Monday morning early, they will come to session. They're scheduled to come to session on Wednesday of next week, August the 16th. I believe we'll spend 1, if not 5 days going through a bit of a service in the House. And there's why. There will need to be a period of time to convince legislators to vote to override this bill or quickly negotiate a side compromise that meets their needs to get their vote, earn their vote to override this bill, because there are not enough House members ready to override the bill. And you might say, well, my goodness, if this bill is as bad as you say it is, well, let's just say it's half as bad as I told you. If it's half as bad as I told you, it's terrible. So whatever 2 times terrible is, that's what this is. You might say, why would they do that? Well, here's why. This is school finances, a sophisticated little fellow. And this is not easily digested by most people, right? I mean, we go to school for, seems like forever, right, Sharon? To learn how to do school finance. And there's many legislators that would not have the background, official background, to understand the mechanics and the meetings and even the AV when you lay this out. They just get a sheet of talking points and they literally pick that up and read it. I mean, I've known some of these legislators for 25 years. And when I sit down and visit with them, they literally reached in their pocket, got out the talking points, and I've known them 25 years, and started reading talking points to me. I said, put up your talking points, you're embarrassing yourself. But here's the point. If you put me in a situation of saying, hey, how do I evaluate a bill on knee replacement surgery? I need some talking points, right? I don't know anything about knee replacement surgery, so give me some talking points, and I'll probably read the talking points to you. But get me on this, it's game on, right? So most of our legislators don't really have that depth of knowledge. So it's going to take local people who have state representatives that have a chance to what we call push a green button to pass a bill. The local people are going to have to talk to the state representative and say, hey, I know it got tagged as Chicago bailout. I'm not sure it is. I've seen the math, I've seen the mechanics. I know that plays well politically, that maybe wins campaigns and looks cool on a sign. But I'm not sure that's really what this bill does. I'm not sure it's a bailout. It's going to take local people talking to the legislators and convincing them that it's okay for downstate, outstate, rural members to vote to move this bill forward. Because we do not have enough members in the House tonight to pass this bill. We're going to need help. That's why we're here tonight, is to get help. Okay? There's plenty of people in the room that understand the mechanics. I see them around the table, most of them have on jackets. That's a superintendent. I can tell by the way they walk. hours? That's a superintendent of all. That's hours of practice, right? Hours of practice at the end of the gym, probably with some keys over here, you know, that get in every. It's going to take people that understand it, helping other people get it. Talk to legislators, help them move forward. Okay? So, it's all game on at this point. And we've got about a little over 2 weeks to get this done. School districts missed their first state aid payment today, or your superintendent came out and talked about that. They'll miss their second one on August the 20th. This is the first time since the Great Depression that we've missed state aid payments in Illinois. Back then, school districts issued script in the form of wooden nickels. And you're thinking, okay, superintendents, if I can hand it, pay it wooden nickels. You know, shock programs grow. But what are my teachers going to do with a wooden nickel? I'm certain tonight, Walgreens, CVS, Hardee's, Walmart, Target, wherever you go, Dillard's does not take wooden nickels. All right? We can't do today what we did in the Great Depression in terms of wooden nickels. We need a bill passed. This is not an insolvable problem. This is a man-made crisis with a solution that can be done. An alternative solution to overriding this bill is to simply say this. Listen, if Chicago pensions are such a big deal, take them out of the bill. Put them on another bill. And here's a little dirty secret. A bill to pay their pensions has already passed. Well, Senate Bill 6, it passed on July the 6th. And many of the people that won't vote for this bill because of the Chicago bailout, because of the Chicago pension payment, voted for the override in Senate Bill 6 to make the pension payment for Chicago. Have you heard that in any editorial? There's some truth. Let that digest a little bit and go to work now. Okay? Where'd it go? I think for the questions anyway. Those are the nice pictures. All right.